Welcome back to what I worked on this week, an art vlog. It's been a great week. Sometimes on weeks you just don't get as much done as you think you're going to get, but I did work a lot. So anyhow, one of the big things I worked on is this guy here, which you guys have seen. You've definitely seen this before. We're going to talk about this piece because I'm at that stage where there's just, as you do all the details, you do all the work, the push, the pull, it doesn't look like you're doing a lot. But yet you're doing things that allow the person to get pulled into the piece. Like I did a lot of work on the eyes. We're going to talk about that in this video. A lot of the detail. We're going to talk about that in this video. The push, the pull, that making things so they're not the same value, like in this arm here, things like that. So we're going to talk a lot about this piece. We're also going to talk about a new piece that I started. You saw the abstracts last week. If you haven't, go check out the video. But two faces showed up. I love the faces, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to have this beautiful girl's face in there, and it was going to be this tree thing, and it didn't turn out to be that way. I got two different faces that are in the places that they just shouldn't be. It's like I would never draw them there if I was working out this piece in a standard way, where I'm working out all the composition and everything. Since I work from abstract and I let the muse talk, it just happens. And that's the challenge of this thing, is that once it happens, how do you move it forward? How do you keep the composition rolling even though it's not planned? It just happens spontaneously, step after step after step after step. You're thinking about all this. And I find that it's what I love about this process for me. Sometimes I'm a little ADHD, I guess. I like to be challenged constantly, right? And that's why this process works for me. So anyhow, we're going to talk a lot about that piece. We're going to talk about where I can go with that piece and what I can do with that piece. So anyhow, stick around. It's going to be fun. Let's go. I thought just really quick to start the video, I'd kind of show where I work, because I don't always work in the studio. As a matter of fact, 80% of my work is not done in the studio. This is the couch. This is the side of my couch, obviously, the armrest, and I keep my, pencils kind of all there. Pastels kind of go jumping back and forth. And then as me and my wife sit and watch movies or whatever, you can see the pieces that I work on sit across from me. And so it's kind of fun, because the house is kind of filled with art, and I can just kind of choose who speaks to me, what I'm working on. So just a quick little insight to my art process is, a lot of times, like I said, I just sit on the couch and watch a movie and draw with my wife, with art sitting in front of me. And I don't have to be in the studio all the freaking time, which it's not conducive to me doing work. I sit in the studio all day for work already. To sit in there again to just do art, something I love to do, just doesn't make sense. So let's go in the studio and let's talk about what I worked on this weekend. Well, this has been it's obviously it's a super fun piece. I've just been spending a ton of time. I'm at that stage where you're doing just such detail work that sometimes it's hard to see it from one step to another, from one week to the next as you're doing progress. I did things like this whole arm, I darkened up this area here and went lighter, and I still want to scrub that in a little bit because it was all the same tone for the whole arm. So I wanted to make this a little lighter and this a little darker, and the light more off since his hand's kind of reaching up like that kind of deal. So I did that, and then it's just push pull. And one thing I really did do, super slow, is I worked on the eyeballs, the eyes, making them a little bit more real. looking, or at least a little more life in them, is a good way to say it. So, and that took a long time. They're super small. So it's just try, and then just all the little detail, more and more and more detail. The next thing I'm going to do is pull this light a little farther through here, maybe do a rim light across here. Scrub, and I got to do something with his nose. Also, the teeth are completely changed from how it was. I was going to do something very creative, or just these, almost like the skin was not the skin, but the bone, even though the bone is the teeth. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. Anyhow, but it just wasn't working, so I went back to get some alligator reference and some other reference, and I just put together the teeth to just make it a little bit more lifelike or real, because there's so much you can do. I mean, when it comes to actually being creative, what you do is, in this particular style, this fantastic realism, there's only so far you can go before you break that barrier where it can look real in somebody's mind. And if you break that barrier, that's why anatomy and stuff like that is, if you break that barrier and it doesn't seem or feel real anymore, then you've taken them out of the journey. You stopped that journey. And I don't want to stop the journey. I want to keep people engaged, and I don't want to have that little hiccup of that doesn't look quite right kind of thing. I just want them to get immersed within the piece. So still lots of work to do on this. I really do need to finish it up. The next thing I did is I did 2 abstracts. You saw that yesterday. So I started one of them, and boy, I don't know where I'm gonna go. So you can see the whole thing, and I know I want trees and roots and stuff, and then all of a sudden these 2 guys show up, and what am I gonna do with those guys? I like them. I really like him a lot. This is the magic of this process, is that you just don't know. You just got to follow the muse. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, is I'm going to follow the muse and see what happens. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to go. I'm just going to keep staring at it and let it talk to me. It's not what I originally thought. I thought I was going to have maybe a girl's face in here, and that just didn't. He showed up, and then the girl's face turned into more of a guy's face, and I wanted to have a girl's face. Originally saw a girl's face here, not saw, but wanted to have a girl's face here, kind of moving into this wood, and I thought, that'd be beautiful. And then this. So I will follow the muse, and I will see where she takes me. So that's what I worked on this weekend. And please like, follow, share, and remember, just draw. Often as you can, just draw. You guys take care. Bye.